Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. How are you guys? This is again our second segment in our program for you. And I'd like to start first with the fact that we all here love you and we dedicate this time because we really love you guys. I remember a few weeks ago I did these classes for my kids at home. It was like regular halaqa for them and they loved it so much. And this is where I got this idea from to start this program and share with you what I did with my kids because we're all one family. So I expect all of you, some parents are also attending and the kids have their notebook and I hope inshallah this will be good for everybody. Now let's review what we did last time. Last time we talked about how to be grateful, right? And what can we do to maintain that good value? We talked about four aspects. We talked about four things last time. The first one was notice. What was the second? Think. And third, feel and act. Let me write them down again. Notice, think, and then feel, and then act, right? So this is important. You may think that this is common sense. It is common sense, but let me remind you of an example we mentioned last time. We talked about the great blessing of the eyes, and are we really grateful enough for it or not? Are we thankful to Allah for these blessings or not? There is a great scholar in Islam. His name is Al-Ghazali. This great scholar was puzzled by a question. He said, yes, people cannot trade these blessings for millions. So why are they not grateful? Why are they not thankful to Allah? Why do they forget? And he's like a great scholar. One of the reasons he reached was maybe because people think that everyone shares the same blessing. Everyone has eyes, so you do not notice the blessing you have. So yes, this point, the problem here is when the reason why many people do not pay attention to these great blessings is that they do not take them personally. Treat your eyes as a personal blessing from Allah to you, Ahmed, Muhammad, Aisha, Fatima. It's a personal gift from Allah to you. Just because people have it does not mean it is less important. Do not wait till you lose it, God forbid, and then you wish that you have it or you understand its value. So make sure that you do not take anything for granted. And you think about this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who gave it to me. And this shows His mercy and His love for us. And this makes you feel grateful. And this leads you to act, to say thank you, Ya Allah. And we mentioned last time the example of salah. Treat your salah as a way of saying thank you, Ya Allah. I forgot to mention something also related to thanking before we start our new class. This is a phrase that you can also write. We say Jazakum Allahu Khaira. What does that mean? You can write it in Arabic. Maybe you heard it a lot, and maybe you do not know how to use it, and when it is used, and why do we even use it? Jazakum Allahu Khairan literally means may Allah, let's say, reward you with good. May Allah reward you with good. When do we use it? This is a way of saying thank you. But sometimes people can do great things to us. Your mom, your dad, your family members, your friends, anyone can do you something great that you cannot thank them enough for. And this is when we use this one. We say, may Allah reward you with good. It's like saying, I cannot thank you enough. So may Allah reward you for what you did for me. Of course, people use Jazakumullahu khairan in an easy way, and they do not actually do a form of thanking before it. You say thank you when you're unable to give any way of thanking. So you can still give a great gift and then say, may Allah reward you, because even the gift I gave you is not enough for what you did for me. So this is again something to add for your vocabulary, and these are great values that you guys should use to be like great citizens and good civilized Muslims. Now let's move right away to our class today. Last time we talked about a king and the wise man, right? We talked about the king and the wise man. But today's story is different. Today's story is your story. Yes, it's your story. It is about some incidents that happened to you and to me and to everybody. So what is this story? I want you to write down this story later after we're done, but think about these points that I want to give you to write that story. It's very, very short story, and it's just your answer to two questions. The first question, do you remember something good that someone said to you? And do you remember something bad that someone said to you? I'm sure you did, because this happened to everybody. Now, my second question, what did you feel when you heard the good words? And what did you feel when you heard the bad words? Exactly. You feel great and you feel encouraged when you hear these good words, encouraging words. When you receive a compliment, when you receive something like good job, thank you, and you feel bad, sometimes lonely, sometimes scared when you hear bad things, sometimes you don't feel safe. So what is the moral of this story, of your story and my story and everyone's story? What I want you guys to learn today from this story that everyone can write in his own words and in his own form is that words are not just sounds. Words are not just sounds. Words have energy. This energy could build someone up or tear him down. This energy could heal a person or hurt a person. This energy could bring people to action or bring people to tears. What is that? Is that an exaggeration? No, because you just felt it. You just felt how the bad words influence you and how the good words influence you. That's why I move quickly to my favorite part, which is building your character through the Quran. There will be some words from the Quran that you memorize to build your character, to grow with these words. These words, when they are planted in your mind, they will give you thoughts on how to behave. And that is extremely important. It's like a garden that you plant so many seeds, and these seeds you let them grow. So when you plant, last time we planted the seed of thankfulness, and today we'll plant another beautiful seed, which is good words. I want you guys to write down this ayah. It's not one complete verse, but it's just a small quote from an ayah that, as I said, would be your seed. So what is this part says? It says, وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. And I want you to memorize it in Arabic and in English, as we'll give it to you right now, and make it part of your vocabulary. So maybe before you're about to say something bad, this word, this ayah will pop up in your mind and say, no, wait, وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. Or you see someone in need of help and in need of encouragement, and this ayah pops up in your mind and encourage you to do to help them. This is exactly this is the whole point of this whole program, is to plant these seeds that would create good thoughts in your mind and grow to the point that it will shape the way you behave. Okay, so وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. What does it mean? It means and, because this is part of the ayah, and say, or let me say speak, and speak good words to all people. It's very beautiful in Arabic and in English too, but I want you to memorize it both in Arabic and in English. And don't say, I don't know enough Arabic. You don't have to know enough Arabic. Even if you know no Arabic at all, you can still manage to memorize these great quotes from the Quran. So, وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. I assume that you guys are writing it down in your journal right now. Maybe this is your second lesson, as we did one yesterday. So it says, and speak good words to all people. This is from Surah Al-Baqarah, but I don't want to give you any other distractions. Just وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا, and speak good words to all people. But how can we practice this? How can we practice the great wisdom contained in this ayah? I'll share with you. Can I erase it now, or should I wait? Let me repeat it again, and then I'll erase it right after. It says wa and وَقُولُوا, and say لِلنَّاسِ, to all people, حُسْنًا, good words. وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا, and speak good words to all people. Okay, let's talk about the second part of this class. How can we practice that? As we mentioned last time, we talked about notice, think, feel, and act. Today we'll just have 3 steps when it comes to making sure that you're always speaking good and using good words. We'll first use this step. We think about what we say. Don't just say something because you felt like it. No, first think about it. And second, wait. And third, act. Let me explain that. First, you need to think about what you're about to say. Is it good or bad? And then here you decide if you will say it or not. Okay? And here you act. If good, you say it. If bad, you hold it back. Let me repeat that again. Brother Hussam is playing with the camera, I guess. So think, wait, and act. Don't just say anything that pops in your mind. You need to think about it. Is it good or bad? Remember what you felt in the beginning? In the beginning, you said you felt hurt because of these bad words, or you felt encouraged because of the good words. Now you need to think about these words. Would the words you're about to say hurt somebody or heal somebody? Would these words bring people to action or bring people to tears? And then you wait. Based on that understanding, are you ready to say it or not? Now you need to act. If it is good, you say it. If it is bad, you hold it back. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not judge you for these thoughts, even if they are bad, as long as you do not release them. Because sometimes we may not control all of these thoughts, but we can control how we manage the thoughts, to act upon them or to stop them. Now, you might say, but what if I forgot and one time I thought about it and I quickly said the bad words? Remember, this comes with training. With education, with understanding, with this plan in mind, you can change. You see them in some programs about animals. You see how they tame some animals. Lion or tiger, they make the tiger behave like humans do. I mean, they listen, they receive instruction, they discipline them. If you can discipline an animal against its own instincts, do you think it would be hard for us to change some of our habits? I received some feedback from some of the brothers last time, and many adults said we learned a lot from the program, even though it's directed for the kids. But I understand that this will benefit everybody, and it is never too late. So if you failed one time, believe me, you will have a lot of volunteers to tease you, and then you need to think about what to say, wait, and then act. Now, let me move to another point in this class, which is some examples. how we can actually practice it now. So وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا, say good words. How can I practice that? Number one, you can start using polite words. That's part of وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. Yes, I'll keep repeating it in Arabic. وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا would make me say polite words. Like what? Like, let's say someone is busy doing something and you want to attract their attention and ask them to do something for you. It's not polite to just go and say, do this for me, or can you do this for me? No, you need, because you're interrupting them, so you should use this. You should start with, excuse me. So you ask first, you attract their attention first, because they are actually doing you a favor when they stop what they are doing to help you. So this is a polite way of asking somebody. Another way is to say, may I do something, or may you do something for me. This is very, very polite way of asking for something or making a request. You could also say, could I do this, please? This is also a nice way. So when you use these polite words, you will make people respect you. And first of all, it indicates that you are a very polite person. So this is the first thing. Of course, you can use thank you, you can use you're welcome, and we discussed this last time. Now, let's move to another way when we can apply or practice وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. One of these ways is to use encouraging words. Encouraging words. What do we mean by this? So let's say your brother drew something very beautiful. So you need to practice وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. Or one of your classmates did a good project. You should use this وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا and say, good job. Say it with the intention that you want them to feel good. You want them to feel better. Remember, we agreed in the beginning how you feel when you receive good words and how you feel when you receive bad words. And remember, as you feel happy, you want others to feel happy as well. So do not be stingy. I mean, it's not only about money. It could be also about the words we're saying. If someone deserves a compliment, be generous. Be generous and say it to them. Say good job to them. Don't be jealous of them, but feel happy for them and let them know that. So this is something we can use. Number three, we can use something else. We can use consoling words. What do I mean by this? And inshallah, we'll have a class about this. Let's say someone is bullied in front of you. Someone said something bad to them or did something wrong to them. You can practice وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. You can say to that person, I am sorry for what they did. You can say, what they did is wrong. You can give any consoling words to that person to lift up their spirit. And believe me, they will remember this for you. They will remember you for this. And they will appreciate it. And inshallah, we'll have a class about bullying and why it is so wrong. And we should not, as Muslim kids, we should not engage in these activities because it does not represent us at all. Inshallah, we'll have even more than one class related to that. Number four, we can use وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا in different ways. Let me use the next way. We can use وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا to tame our anger. Yes, I heard you. You might say, how can I practice this when I really get angry? Someone teased me and they did something that irritated me. How can I say something good? At least don't say something bad. And instead of saying, I hate you, you can say things like, I am angry right now. It's not wrong to tell people how you feel, but you communicate your message without offending anyone, even those who are saying bad words. Instead of yelling, I hate you, you can say, I don't like that. I am angry right now. So, and keep practice this. And parents should also keep stressing these strategies. It's important to talk about how you feel, and we'll talk about that at the end of the class. Number 5, one way of applying or practicing وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا is good apology. Yes, we're not perfect. I could do something wrong. You could do something wrong. Your mom could do something wrong. Your dad could do something wrong. And everyone, whenever we do something wrong, it does not mean we're bad. No, it means what we did is bad. But never say you're bad. Because when you say you're bad, it's like you cannot change. So when it comes to bad behavior, if I insulted somebody, I can still practice وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. I can just say, I am sorry. And I would suggest that you actually name what you're sorry for. Don't just say, I am sorry. Say, I am sorry for, and acknowledge the mistake you did. In this way, even though you did something wrong, but now you fixed it. And with the power of وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا, you're on the right track. Okay? Same thing we mentioned last time. Say thank you. Don't just say thank you. Say thank you for this delicious meal you made. Always mention what you're grateful or thankful for. That means your thanks or your apology is sincere and honest. Number 6, and this is the last way we can practice وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. We can practice وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا by basically using non-harming words. I say this because وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا means that you will not curse. You will not use foul language, because that is the opposite of وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. How can I do that? Tame your tongue. You're about to say it, but think about it. You know it is wrong. Wait, decide not to do it. Hold it back. That means you're respectful. And by the way, that means you're very strong. Anyone can do anything bad. The strong person is the one who can control himself. Because to be bad is just to do whatever you want, to say whatever you want. You have no control over yourself. That is weakness. The real power is when you're about to say something and you decide not to do it, then you're in control. You're controlling yourself. You're in power. That's why the Prophet ﷺ one day asked the Sahaba and said, who is the strongest person in your eyes, in your mind, in your opinion? They said a strong person is the one who always defeats people in wrestling. They refer to this idea of physical power and physical strength. But the Prophet ﷺ said, no, a strong person to me is the one who can control his anger. And again, it comes with practice. It comes with practice. Think, wait, act. And I hope you act well. Now, the last part I have for you guys are the exercises, because these are not just khutbahs. This is something that you need to actually practice. But before I say that, I'd like to stress a point that I already referred to in my talk already, and that is, as parents, we should focus on feelings. That is a great way of parenting. Maybe it is very common that one of the kids teased another, or said a bad word, or hit another, and some parents immediately would ask, and this is a strange question to me, they would ask, what did he do? What did she do? Or why did you do that? This is a wrong question. Don't ask the child, why did you do that? Because they can have 1 million answer for that. They can justify bad behavior. But instead, you can approach this in a different way. You can say, how do you feel when someone does this to you? In this way, you're awakening this built-in empathy that Allah created the kids with. Do not turn parenting into mathematical equations. Now, Allah built these emotions and good emotions in us, and our job as parents is to awaken these good emotions in them. How do you feel when someone says this bad word to you? How do you feel when someone does this bad thing to you? How do you feel when someone does not like to share his toys with you, does not like to play with you, does not like to help you? Even if the kids would look like they don't care or it doesn't matter, no, it matters. But keep using this to awaken that feeling in them, and inshallah it will help them greatly. Now let's go back to our beloved friends. So what are the exercises we have for today? I have a lot of them because this is something that we can practice many times every day. The first thing is this. My question, it's actually about Ramadan. Did you guys wish your relatives or some family or some did you guys or some other families or your neighbors, did you wish them happy Ramadan? If not yet, you can call them, because this is also part of وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. So make sure that you wish them a good Ramadan, because that makes them feel better, that makes them feel connected, especially during this lockdown that all of us are having. Number two, I want you to draw an iftar picture where the whole family is sitting and you're asking your mom or your dad or your brother or sister to hand you some food. What would be the polite way of asking them to give you the food? It would be a great picture, I believe. And I don't know if Brother Hussam would agree. You can share these pictures with us and what you said in these polite questions. And here's the hint. The hint, I think the request may start with may or may start with could you please. That would be a nice way of asking for something from your brother or anyone. Number three, someone was hurt by a comment you made yesterday or last week or last month. What would you like to say to them? Because I am very sure by now you know that it feels really bad when someone give you some bad remarks or negative words. Number four, when you use and when you practice وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا, who are the people who will notice the change of your behavior the most? I want you to list them. It could be maybe your mom, it may be your dad, maybe your little brother, maybe your little sister. If these are the people who were really, maybe a friend in school, if these are the people who will really notice the change, I think it's worth it, because you should have good relationship with all of those people. Again, I think it's we took longer than last time maybe, but I wish you all of you guys happy Ramadan. And again, I love you so much, and we'll meet tomorrow inshallah at 6:30 at the same time. وجزاكم الله خيرا والسلام عليكم.